I'm really hoping it doesn't fall. So here are all the books I got recently. Instead of sleeping like a normal person would do at 11 p.m., I'm gonna be in my room filming a book haul. So let's just get started. First book is A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. And okay, I'm just reading the blurb because I don't know anything about the book. So from reading the blurb, I'm getting this kind of rebellious kid who gets who kind of becomes a subject to an experiment for a psychologist. Pretty interesting. It's in a dystopian world. The reason why I don't know what these books are actually about is because number one, I judge books by the cover. If it looks good, it looks good. And second of all, 9 of these books are like part of a set and I got them for really cheap, so that's why. The second book is Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. And I've always wanted a kind of Dostoevsky book. I've heard that it's really hard to read. I really wanted to try it because I got over this book called How to Read a Book, and it was literally the most boring book ever. I'm so sorry. How are you gonna teach someone how to read a book if they can't even read your book? So this book is about a student who commits a crime in a slum and he feels no remorse. And I think he has some kind of like godly feelings, God complex. But then his guilt starts climbing up to him as he plays this kind of cat and mouse game with a police officer. Sounds pretty interesting. The next book is Physics and Philosophy by Werner Heisenberg. And I don't even know if this is a fiction book. Okay, it isn't a fiction book. It's about physics. If you know me in real life, you know that I do not work well with physics. I do not. And yeah, but I really hope I gain something out of it. I would love to explain the things on the back, but really, it would just sound like I'm saying random words. So yeah. So this next book is Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Mellows. And this book has been on my wish list for a long time, but I kind of forgot what it was about. So this book is about a struggling girl in New York who meets this really rich man and they just get married and her life changes. So I'm intrigued in knowing how her life would change in not the obvious way, because obviously she'll become richer, but what about like what the parents would feel or anything? Okay, that was close. I have to be more careful. The Spoke by Friedrich Nietzsche. This book is basically talking about the meaning of existence, philosophy. I don't know philosophy. I was talking with these 2 people I met in university about philosophy, and they took the course, and they literally deadass told me that in the first course, like the first lesson, the teacher looked at them dead straight in the eye and said, "Are you real? Like, are you real? How do you know you're real? Like, this might not be real. None of this could be real." Interesting. I'm kind of interested in knowing how it would mess up my mind. Now this book is Monsters by Claire Dederer. And I actually know what it's about. I think it's about how many of like the great talented people that we admire, like Picasso, Shakespeare or something, they're actually monsters, as in like they're evil people, but we still praise them. And it teaches us how to deal with it, I'm assuming. Pretty cool. Next is Blue Sisters. I got this for such a freaking bargain. I got it with the Cleopatra book for literally $4. Like, is that not a bargain? Brand new as well. So Blue Sisters by Coco Mello is the same author. It's about three sisters who are just like all exceptional, and they actually had a fourth sister who died. And they learn to navigate how to live without the fourth sister. That sounds horrible, but they learn how to kind of cope with it, with each other. And I think it would just be like a really heartwarming, nice sibling book. Next book is Catch-22 by Vintage-Hella. I don't know. I'm just gonna assume that's about like flying a plane. So this is about a bombardier. I don't know what that is. Please tell me in the comments if you know. Who is mad that there's people trying to kill him. It's in the closing months of World War II. Honestly, probably not my style, but I'm still gonna read it. Next book is The Silk Roads by Peter Frankopan. So this is about like how empires fell and grew, and it might literally teach me a lot about how to maintain relationships or something. If you're wondering why like stuff are not like making sense from my mouth, it's because I'm tired, okay? I'm tired, but we have to get through this whole. Now I know what this is. This is Dracula by Bram Stoker. And it's about a vampire. Like, that's from the title. I know what Dracula is. Okay, so it's just like stuff are happening in England, I think. And then it corresponds to a vampire. Exciting. Next book is Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. And it's about this really creepy, disgusting stepfather or something who falls in love with his 12-year-old daughter. And honestly, from that title, it sounds interesting, but reading this book, I might literally get the ick. Next is Venom, Dark and Sweet. And I read the first book of Venom Steeped in Poison. I loved it. It was kind of a slow liking because from the start, I was like, it's okay. Towards the end, it gave me this kind of high feeling where I couldn't get from a book, and I started craving that world. I just love the characters, I love the atmosphere, I love the scenery. And I'm interested in knowing what the second book would be about. I think I remember reading this. Okay, it's about mass poisoning and they have to discover who did it using like that tea power or something. Okay, next book is The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells. I watched the movie. I don't know if it is the same thing as a movie. Okay, it's different from the movie. I think it's this guy who found a way to become invisible but doesn't know how to become visible again. Sounds interesting. Next is another Dostoevsky book, Crime and Punishment. What? That is horrible. That is horrible. I bought the same book twice. Oh my goodness. Well, I like this cover better, but oh my goodness. That's why you shouldn't like buy too much stuff at once, because you buy same books. Next book is Butter by Asako Yuzuki. I think it's about this gourmet cook who is a serial killer, and she meets with this journalist who cooks, and they discover like the real reason why the gourmet cook killed someone. Very interesting. I love these books where there's like something there. Next book is The Memory Police, and it's by Yoko Ogawa. And it's about the society where like random stuff start disappearing from the world, and some people remember it, most don't. And the people who remember the missing stuff, their memories start coming back, and they start realizing like the dystopian society. Very, very interesting. I really want to read this one next. Next is Oscar Wilde, The Importance of Being Earnest. I honestly have no idea. I think it's just like a bunch of different plays put together. This would be something good to read in my kind of like sleeping time. I can just read like one story every night. Next book is Tender is the Flesh by Augustica Brasterica. And I think it's in a world where there was no longer any animal meat, so cannibalism has been made legal. And it's so interesting. I'm so excited to read this. There are so many books in my haul that I want to read. Some I don't want to read. But okay, so I read the blurb and I think I understand it more. It's about this guy who slaughters humans to make them meat, and there's like A grade meat, like D grade meat, and this girl he's meant to prepare as like A grade, the top rank, and she starts haunting him. Very interesting. Next book is Babel. One of my university classmates actually recommended it to me, and she said it was a book that literally changed her. And I do law, and then she said it was a reason why she wanted to become an immigration lawyer. It's about this like adopted student, like a student who's like Asian, and there's just like a lot of racism and like discrimination. And there was like this tower where all the power flows. She told me about it, but I forgot what it's about, but I want to read it. Next is Yellowface by Rebecca F. Kwong. I think it's the same author as Babel. And it's about this girl who her competitor dies in an accident and she steals her work and gains all the credit. And someone's about to expose her. And what is she willing to do to like stop that expose? Next book is I Am a Cat by Natsume Soseki. So it's just like the perspective of the world from a cat. Like this cat's so cute. I love cats. And I think it's just from a cat's point of view. Like very interesting. Like what does a cat think? Like. Next book is Oscar Wilde, The Picture of Dorian Gray. I think it's this guy who's incredibly good looking and hot. And he just uses it. Okay, never mind. He exchanges his soul for being good looking, and he uses his beauty to become evil. And yeah, and he begins to lose himself in his beauty and realizes that maybe like beauty isn't everything in the world. That's what I think this book is gonna say. Next book is Bunny by Mona Awad. Okay, so they're in this like writers university, like this extremely prestigious, and all the girls call each other Bunny, which is kind of scary. I don't know about you, but then she gets an invitation and goes down a rabbit hole. What does that mean? I'm interested. It's like horror. It's kind of scary. It makes me want to read it right now. Next book is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I love Donna Tartt. I love The Secret History. It's probably my favorite book. Maybe Verity though. It's kind of like a wrestle between these two. And this is about this guy who goes into the criminal underworld because his parents died and he got adopted into a wealthy family by his friend. Next book is She Always Hungry by Eliza Clark. And I think it's 3 stories in one book. It's a teenager longs for perfect skin, a scientist tends to fragile alien flora, a young man takes a night into his own hands. I want to know what these books are about. Next is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I know this is a film or something, never watched the film. I'm kind of happy I didn't watch it because I want to get like the full book experience. So I think it's this guy who just like explores his youth. Next is Taiwan Travelogue. I have no idea what it's about, but you know how to get me, you know how to lure me in a book. Have this word in it, Taiwan, because I like Taiwan. It's great. I want to just like read all the books set in Taiwan because I just love being in Taiwan so much. Going there this November, so keep out for the Taiwan vlog. But I think it's just like a romance book where the two people eat like food. Excited. Next is a trio series, Crazy Rich Asian series, China Rich Girlfriend and Rich People Problems. I've loved the movie. If you watched my podcast yesterday, you'll know this is one of my comfort movies. I'm reading the book currently. It's giving me the same vibe as the movie. I love it. And I'm really excited that there's gonna be like a part 2, part 3 because I needed that from the movie. And that's literally why I picked up these books. Interesting. And finally, best for last, it's sitting like as a trophy on my nightstand. It's the Yoshitomo Nara art book. I've been wanting it forever, and I finally got my hands on it. I got it at such a cheap price, literally like 50% off. It's amazing. I love this character. I love this character. I don't know what it's called, but she's so cute. I treasure this forever. So those are my books that I got book haul, and hope you guys enjoyed as much as I did filming this, and I'm gonna go to sleep.